Hello, welcome all. My name is Jayanthi. I'm an educator. I love to teach small children, and now I'm into storytelling. My YouTube channel is Jayanthi's 5-minute stories, which caters to the young children. I am fascinated in telling the stories of Krishna, which I have heard in my childhood days, especially the days I remember when my grandmother used to tell stories, also feed us all in our hands. We would sit around her and then we will listen to the story and we would eat at the same time. So it is such a nostalgic thing hearing to Krishna's. Today I'm going to share two stories of Krishna in his very young age when he was a toddler in Gokulam. His mother Yashoda used to churn the curd for butter. And Krishna would not leave her at all until she had removed that butter and given a good share to him. The white color of the butter and the gleaming of the butter were always giving him the pangs of hunger. He would not only relish it, but he would share with his friends also. One day, he was just waiting for his mother to churn the butter. He overheard someone calling from the front door. Mangoes, sweet mangoes, ripe mangoes. It was a fruit seller going around selling mangoes in Goku. Krishna's father, Nandakumar, called out to the fruit seller and he was asking, "Lady, would you please come? We want some mangoes." Krishna had been intently watching this sitting beside his mother. And in those days, they used to have the barter system. Whatever they have at home, they would give that and in exchange would buy things. That day, Nandakumar was going to exchange a basket of grains, food grains, and get the mangoes. And the barter system was a mode of making purchases during those days. Then Yashoda was still churning the butter out of the curd. Krishna's attention was caught up with the process in the front door and he made a dash to watch what was happening. Nandakumar gave the whole basket of grains to the fruit seller in exchange of one big basket of golden color mangoes. It was very tempting and the color was so good. Krishna was eyeing all that. And what he did, his father actually, he gave one whole basket of grains and the lady was too happy. In other houses, for a basket of mangoes, she would get only half a basket of grains or something. But here, Nandakumar was so, passionate for her work and then he exchanged a basket of grains. And looking all this are beautiful black-eyed locks of thick black hair falling on his forehead, such a beautiful child. He ran inside the house and whatever his hands could hold, he brought the grains to the fruit seller who was standing outside. And he wanted to, in his lilting voice, He was showing her this and then asking, "Would you give me a mango, please?" And the fruit seller was really fascinated by the looks of Krishna with his peacock feather on his hair and his beautiful eyes, his shining eyes. And she sort of forgot herself for a moment. And when Krishna placed the grains in her hands, she was taken, to another world even. Such a beauty she has never seen. And she offered him 2 mangoes. And the child, in his lilting steps, he went inside. And when she turned to look at her grains basket, it had all turned to rubies and gold and diamonds. And it really is a miracle for her. And she could understand that the boy was a divine incarnation, and she had tears in her eyes. Let us move to another story of Krishna. When he was playing as a child in Gokulam, he would play with his friends every day. All the mothers, Yashoda and Balarama's mother, Rohini, everybody would gather and they would let the children play. And they would just share, after completing all their work, after tying the cows in the cow shed, they would gather and then share whatever happened. And most of it would be the other mothers, Krishna's friends' mothers, would say, "You know what, Yashoda, your son did today? He had taken the calf from the tide, and then he had let the calf run away." Another would say that, "You know, Yashoda, what Krishna had done today? He had taken the butter from our house, which was I had kept separately, but the fresh one, the choicest of one, he had taken it." So, and they would laugh and they would say that, who can even say a word to Krishna? Why did you do that? We can't even say. Is when we look at his face, is so beautiful, and we all forget ourselves. And then we really enjoy the beauty of Krishna, his eyes and his sparkling eyes and his, such a beautiful face. We forget ourselves even. And they would share like this. Suddenly, there was a noise from Balarama, who was shouting, "Yashoda Maya, look what Krishna has done." "What, Baba? What he has done?" Yashoda was running. And then Balarama was showing Krishna eating a handful of mud. And she was really, frustrated, and she didn't know what to do. And she was trying to scold Krishna, asking him to open his mouth. When Krishna opened his mouth, she saw, did she see? Whole universe, the mountains, the rivers, everything, the fields, and even the place, Gokulam, demigods, gods, the entire elements, everything. And she saw the whole creation, different forms of the whole creation. And Yashoda could find within the mouth of a child everything necessary for the cosmic manifestation even. She also saw within his mouth herself talking to Krishna, and then she was transformed to another world even. What is this? Is this my child? Or is he the God himself? And she wanted to tell him, if a child eats mud, what will happen? The germs in the mud would affect their stomach, small stomach, and they may get infected. All this she wanted to tell him. She wanted to reprimand him, but she was transfixed. She could not even move. She just stood there, and in a moment she even forgotten herself, who she was, whether Krishna is a child, and she lost a consciousness even. And when Krishna saw her in a state of daze, he just became a child again, and he was calling his mama, Maya, please, sorry, I have eaten mud, hereafter I won't. And Yashoda could not understand whether she had seen the whole universe in that small mouth of Krishna. And she has come back to herself as the mother who takes care of a small kid. Let us meet with another story of Krishna in the coming week.